like and subscribe. Did your high school ever have an incident or event? What was it? Edit. Obligatory holy. This blew up. My high school had some kind of scandal with a music teacher and an underage boy. The school's reputation was so trashed that they had to change the name of the school to keep people from making the association. Johnson suck. Junior. Hi. A student at my high school shot himself in the chest at lunchtime in front of his ex-girlfriend because she had broken up with him. He did not survive. Edit. Typo. I used to live in the United States Virgin Islands, on a smallish island called St. Thomas, and back in my freshman year, school was called off early, within the first few periods of the day, and we weren't allowed to leave the buildings we were in until our parents came to pick us up. No one was really sure what was happening, until S.W.A.T. teams pulled up to the school and started filing out all along the street, and that's when word reached us that a Bengal tiger had escaped within the island. Which was a surprise, considering our the nearest zoo catered to aquatic animals. Once my dad came to pick me up, I was escorted out of the school's gates, with two S.W.A.T. members covering both sides, and, as we left, learned that most of the main town had been occupied by S.W.A.T. teams, which I wasn't even aware we had on the island, up until that point, with roadblocks set up here and there, all ready to stop themselves a tiger. The next day, however, we learned that there was not an escaped tiger on the island, but that there was, instead, a lost Bengal cat that had been named Tiger by its owner, that was misprinted in the newspaper as being an actual tiger that raised a gigantic panic across the whole island. TL. Dr. Parton Island was shut down by a house cat. Edit. This comment blew up. Thanks for the gold, stranger. Since there's been a few people asking if he was ever found, from what I can gather, the tiger is missing to this day. My school was having a spirit week, and one of the days was superheroes and supervillains, like Marvel or DC. Someone came dressed in a full KKK outfit, because she wanted to be a villain. Bunch of local news stations reported the story and everyone in our area knew about it. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. No, it's a plane. No, it's super racist. One kid dressed up as the Easter Bunny and was throwing candy off of the senior balcony during a lunch period. I remember everyone being really excited until there was a fight over a specific candy bar. I've never been more excited to see teachers run after someone in a bunny suit in my entire life. We had fight week 23 fights in 7 days. Doubled the cops in our school. A friend of mine and his girlfriend killed themselves within 2 days of each other after their breakup. It was horrible. Rem had just released Everybody Hurts, and they played it at the girl's funeral, to a group of high schoolers attending their second funeral of a fellow student in less than a week. It was rough. The speech and debate club was suspended for 2 years, after it was revealed that the officers were embezzling club funds. I went to a very boring high school. Of course the speech and debate team is responsible for the white-collar crime. Adult family members of an expelled student came to the school, and in the middle of class proceeded to beat up the teacher who was the reason he was expelled, and the janitor who came to see what all the commotion was. Teacher had a bloody nose, janitor had to be taken out on a stretcher with several broken ribs. My college suspended some students for eating breakfast during a lecture. One of the students decided to upload the hilarious suspension letter in FB, which mission suspended for eating or something like that. Pic went viral, local media caught it, national media caught it. College's day of shame. My high school has a section on its Wikipedia article about the strange incidents that have happened there. The most famous one, it was before my time, but my older sister was there, with the streaker. He greased himself up and ran through the cafeteria, and the police couldn't catch him, so they used a taser. My sister had gone into the separate side room, where you buy food, so she didn't see any of it. Just a bunch of shocked/horrified faces when she came back. Back in HS, a few grades above me, there were about 5 people who had some kind of orgy and they all ended up getting herpes. Well, people found out as they usually do, and from that point on everyone in the area who heard my school's name instantly thought we all had herpes. Funny enough, when on vacation in Colorado, a group I met at the same hotel from Texas had heard about my school's infamy somehow and thought it was hilarious. This was about 3 years after the incident and my school was in Wisconsin. Bayport. An assistant principal was arrested for killing his wife and trying to make it look like a suicide. They made a data line or 48 hours mystery about it. I can't remember. He was a petty nice guy, but not to her, I guess. He was a petty nice guy, but not to her, I guess. Understatement of the year. Our school stopped the yearly high school trip to Six Flags the year before I got to high school because someone who I knew and was friends with my older brother hopped off the Yosemite Sam ride and punched off Bugs Bunny's head. Edit. Here is a video of the ride if you've never been. The animatronic he punched is at the 40 mark. https://www.yahoo.com/watch. V equals YNPP-P2QXH. This is not a video of him actually punching Bugs, just showing what the ride looks like. As far as I know, there isn't a video of him doing it that has been released, though since the rumor was he got caught because of a camera inside the ride, it might exist. The cool guy Spanish teacher had a long-term relationships with multiple students, even paying for a few abortions. That was like 10 years ago, and I had forgotten about it until a guy I knew from high school posted some news footage of the teacher shaking hands with Geraldo Rivera about 2 months ago. Not sure how he's not still in prison. Bomb threat. Kid threw acid on his friend's leg. Basketball coach put a camera in an office and taped girls changing. Chemistry acid or LSD acid. Me too, thanks. It was 5th grade, and recess after lunch had been cancelled because some parents complained about kids not having enough time to eat, even though you could be dismissed at any time by a teacher and could take as long as you wanted to eat. Everyone was upset, so this kid named Luke and a few of his friends decided to do something about it. Within minutes, everybody in the cafeteria was out of their minds screaming, "We want recess," swearing, throwing food at the lunch staff, and several people made a break for it and tried to run out of the lunchroom. Luke and a few others were suspended that day, and luckily their sacrifice meant that recess was reinstated for the rest of us. We now simply refer to the incident as the lunchroom riot. Those few parents that wanted recess cancelled were terrible. During my sophomore year, the student body orchestrated a walkout because most of our electives were being cut to save money. Teachers who were losing their jobs also walked out with us. Classes like auto shop, wood shop, photography, home economics, all gone. The walkout did help as a few were reinstated the following year, while others were after my class graduated. My senior class did something similar. Our graduation date was being pushed back by 2 weeks, so that we would graduate in the new auditorium that was being built. They informed us of this a month before our original graduation date. Since it's tradition for seniors to go to Myrtle Beach the week after graduation during senior week there, a lot of us had already made hotel reservations that would have cost money to cancel/change. What they didn't expect was for us to organize a sit-in in the cafeteria once the news broke. It lasted for an entire day until the newly elected superintendent showed up and told us that, while he respected what we were doing, that we better not pull anything like this again. We effectively got our graduation moved back to its original date and graduated in the gym, while the next class was the first to graduate from the new auditorium. I don't know if it's relevant or not, but we were reading Animal Farm in App English at the time, which may or may not have had a hand in our rebellion. Edit. I know seniors reading Animal Farm in an App English class is incredulous. I went to a public school in the poorest county in one of the poorest states in the US, WV. Our teachers were constantly badgered to tailor their curriculum around material that would be covered on standardized tests. Higher/improved test scores meant that the school district would get more grant money. My school did. All in terms of preparing us for higher education, and other than myself, and a few close friends I still talk to, very few of us actually went on to get a degree. Please move along and express your indignation to somebody else's inbox. This girl posted on a transgender YouTube channel saying how she was going to blow up her high school and kill a lot of people. She described how she could do it, and because she was a student teacher she knew how to get away with it and kill the most people. The people on the channel notified police that tracked it down to my high school, and we had a huge lockdown because they had to check for any explosives. We had a pedophile pet teacher who left the year before I arrived. His replacement found this out, and instead of reporting this to the police and the school authorities, he wrote letters to all the parents of the children he thought were involved, then went public to the newspapers. He got fired, and eventually, 6 years later, the pedophile got imprisoned for 12 years. My sister works at a high school. A kid shot himself in the head outside of the cafeteria last year. I was in my junior year, and it was finals week. Everyone usually gets to school about 20 minutes before class starts, and we just walk around the place talking with friends. Then all of the teachers started ushering us all toward the road, and away from the school. There was an active bomb threat. My high school was kind of a magnet school in a decent area, so we had no idea what was going on. Turns out some freshman got scared and called in a bomb threat to get out of finals on his own cell phone. We had fun though. One of my classmates was a DJ on the weekends. His pickup truck was a sort of convertible instant party, and he stood there killing it for over an hour. My high school used to allow every other year for the foreign language classes to go to that respective country over spring break. The school decided that the funds weren't there for it anymore, but still allowed people to go if they paid for it themselves, and parents went with them. Anyways, the German class went to Germany, and of course high school age kids will drink over there. Well, the school caught wind and suspended all of them and kicked them out of National Honor Society. The uproar was insane. The school no longer sanctioned the trip, nor paid, so they didn't have a right to do that, since also it wasn't during school time. One of the parents of the students is very rich. They threatened the school by not giving their annual donation. Sure enough, all students were reinstated. Wait, what? The school would allow them to go on a private vacation on their own time with their own money? Did the school also have the power to say, "You Colin, you're not allowed to visit your grandma this weekend"? One kid died in my gym class. We were doing a swimming lesson, so everyone was in the pool doing some laps, learning how to do the different strokes. After some laps, the gym teacher has us get out of the pool. A minute or so goes by and someone shouts out, "There is someone at the bottom of the pool." I don't know if the gym teacher froze up or what, but it was a few seconds before a student finally dove in to drag him out of the pool. The teacher finally snaps out of it and tries to start CPR and yells for someone to grab the defibrillator from the hallway. He tries to revive the kid, but it was too late, unfortunately. The kid was taking some meds, not sure what he was taking, maybe something for AD or depression, but the autopsy came back showing he had overdosed on whatever he was taking. So it was a suicide attempt. The kid overdosed before gym class, knowing that we were swimming in the pool. It was a really sad day, to say the least. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.